Alright guys and girls, welcome back. Just want to do a quick video. I'm a little bit annoyed at the moment because I was about to go on to my Xbox One X, which I paid a fortune for, right? And this was like a few months going back, well actually nearly when it first came out for the Xbox One X. Anyway, some months. Just signing in, just about to sign in. I get this error. There was a problem, we could not sign you in. Try again in a few minutes or check your account by signing in to the account live.com, sign in, and it comes up with an error code, FC800 or whatever it is. Some weird sort of thing. Anyway, I checked online on Twitter, and what really pisses me off is apparently they've got some sort of like server flood or server downs. The servers are down so you can't sign in. Says it may affect some people. Some, I wouldn't think some, probably a lot of people. Anyway, this is what really pisses me off. Now, when I go to say play a game like The Crew. Now, games like The Crew have multiplayer, which means when you're playing a game, right, even though it's single player, it says single player and it's done by Ubisoft, and I like the company and the firm and all of that. Now, a lot of these single player games now are all online. It doesn't matter if you're playing a single player game, if you can play whatever games in single player. Now, the digital era is coming into effect. Slowly, yeah, it might take 5-10 years, maybe less than 5 and 10 years. Probably like 2 or 3 years, maybe 2020, when the new Xbox 2 is supposed to be coming out. There's been rumours about the Xbox 2 that it's going to be a full-on discless console. Now, I think in me as a customer who buys these consoles, who wants the discs to have a full game on disc, or maybe do a cartridge system because cartridges are a lot faster. I want the full game on there. I want the updates. I want the games fixed on there as well. So when I buy an actual game, right, it should be already fixed as soon as I buy it out the shop. So if I'm spending 60, 70, 80 quid for a game and I go down to the shop and I'm buying it, right, the developers, the gaming developers of these companies should have already actually got all the bugs out, as many bugs as possible, and fixed that. They should have got a load of gamers to try the games out, make sure there's no bugs in it, make sure it's 100% final when you make these games. Now, I bought a few games before, like Fallout, and that's had a lot of bugs with it. A friend of mine was saying the other day he's been playing it, and he said it's full of bugs, and that's by Bethesda. And they've been screwing their customers over, because I've read some posts on there by Bethesda. If you buy a game or something and you bought it for a console but you go over to PC because it's much better, because the hardwares are better and all that shit, the customers, right, can't sell that for a new price, even though it's in the actual shrink wrapper. And that's what really annoys me on that. But that's not what I'm going to be talking about. I want to get to the main part of it. Now, I think the Xbox era, Microsoft, and other gaming companies like Sony, for instance, Sony themselves directly are greedy. They're not doing backwards compatible with people with PS2 games. They just want to do all this digital downloads. They get the games, they put them on the store, and they expect you to buy them again, even though you've got them in the store. And that's what really, really annoys me. Now, Sony are greedy, right? And with Nintendo, on the other hand, when you do a live stream, if you want to do a game in live stream on the consoles, and you want to like publicize a game onto YouTube as a video, maybe take the talking out or the videos and all of that, and actually give advertisement to the companies, to Nintendo, because obviously Nintendo are actually great at making games. They make some awesome games. They end up flagging your videos and say you can't put any of that shit on your channel because it's our content. Yes, okay, we buy those games, right? We buy the physical games. But if we want to live stream them, right, Nintendo don't like people live streaming their games because they think that they're not making any money off it. If you end up live streaming that game, no one's going to buy it. That's the thing. No one's going to buy that game because they're already watching that game or whatever you're playing or live streaming. So it kind of pisses the customers off, but it's pissing them off because they don't want to lose any profit. So you end up live streaming a $60, $70 game, right? And you get people, I mean, obviously, it's their game, so it's their copyrights and all that kind of stuff, and I get that. But they're kind of greedy on the side as well, because you're ending up paying 60, 70, 80 quid for a Nintendo game, PlayStation game and all that, and you do get some like copyright flags or crosses and X's on there and all that, and they end up flagging your videos. But that's why you cut the video out, the audio, so they don't get any of that copyright shit in there. Now, Nintendo, on the other hand, when you still do it and you cut the audio out, they actually flag you for the gameplay videos, for actually doing the visualization of the actual product, or if it's got their name in it and says Nintendo, that's it, going to flag you. But the thing is, you're actually making them money, because you're advertising their products, yet you're not getting anything out of it. And the thing is, I do gaming anyway. I do it on like Twitch, or I'll do it on my Mixer and all that. And I actually love Mixer, but I don't do any Nintendo products. I haven't really bought many Nintendo games, even though they've got a lot of games out there. But I wouldn't be risking myself to live stream on YouTube, because they don't want people to literally live stream and advertise their products and make Nintendo money, so people can go out and buy it and then stuff like that. So, but Sony, on the other hand, they're kind of greedy because they want it all. They don't want to get and help Microsoft out and have it so people on Xbox and PlayStation and Switch or Nintendo can play all together. And they want to be greedy because they want to hold back the actual players. And I get that. I love PlayStation. Don't get me wrong, guys and girls. I love PlayStation. I love Xbox. And I love Nintendo. So I'm not a fanboy of any consoles. I love them equally, as properly as anything, as a proper gamer should. But when it comes down to corporations, greed on the corporation side, you buy a game, you've got a physical copy, but that's not good enough for the gaming company, the ones you've supported all these years. I've got about, say, 200, 300 games of my PS2 games out in the boxes outside in one of the sheds, because I'm building up another shed. And what really annoys me, actually, is the 16th, I believe today, Thursday 16th of August 2018, and it's 03:11 in the morning, so 3:09 actually in the morning, so getting a bit early in the morning. But what I want to do is say, right, I think if you're going to get yourself a good fan base, obviously Sony's got a good fan base, but not as better than Nintendo. Nintendo are great, they do good products, no bullshit in them, no sort of like said about their products, but I do find the customer... Oh no, back in a minute. Sorry about that, guys and girls. My brother's bloody annoying me. Anyway, so I find Nintendo one of the biggest, best companies out there who produce quality games and put them on cartridges. They actually put them on cartridges. They put a full game on there. I find their customer services, back when they make these games and they put them on cartridges. Cartridges are faster than discs, and I think PlayStation and Xbox should follow suit. But I think it shouldn't be all online. I think it should be based on the preference of the customers. You do have ones that wants to go online and play games online, but you have those hardcore solo players that play games offline or do live streaming and play single player games. But I've noticed with where is it? I can find it. The Crew 2. I've noticed apparently this is only on, it's Xbox single player, so obviously it's Xbox single player, force feedback and all that kind of stuff. But I've noticed I don't think it's online. It's online only. I mean, because I noticed with the Assassin's Creed games, obviously they're single player games, but those games are not fully on disc. You have to put patches in and all that kind of crap. So the whole game's not fully on there. What they should do for the next Xbox, I don't think it should be cloud technology, because I think that's going to mess up the industry completely if it's all clouded. I think it should be based on the customer's preference. Now me, I'm a hardcore sort of single player offline person. I like to have my privacy and play on offline and all that, and play single player games from time to time. I do like going online occasionally, but I don't want it so where people keep like invading your privacy and shit like that, or they end up sending you sort of like messages. People all the time send you messages offline and say, oh, we've got some notifications for you, offers and all that kind of crap and stuff. And then you're in the middle of a game and you're playing a single player game, and then you get like another message up and say, oh, on today's offer and all that. I mean, Xbox is good, but I think the way their dictatorship is a little bit coming up to, it's coming more like they're trying to become more babyish. They're becoming more the sort of Nintendo. We can't have any language on here on Xbox. Obviously, we get it. You're not allowed to bully people on there. I don't bully people anyway. I don't fucking talk to people on there hardly. I just like playing my single players. I like being happy. I like having a laugh. But I do occasionally swear, and people do occasionally swear a lot. And sometimes you have this sort of like banter between your friends and all that, and it's like it's sort of a gap. They don't want people bantering and all that. Anyway, back in a sec. Anyway, guys and girls, basically, I like physical media. Stuff like this, the Predator Trilogy 3 movie collection. Be right back in a minute. Anyway, guys and girls, just eating some nuts at the moment. Bought some of these mixed nuts. Anyway, I like physical media. I like stuff like, if I'm buying stuff, right, I can play and take it out the disc or take out the cartridge out of the box and all that, and just have it physically in my hand. Anything like digital stuff, right, really annoys me, because then that means it gives the companies choices to get rid of that media eventually, so people can't use it and play it. Now, I don't know if you guys and girls and all that, but I do like physical media. I've always been brought up with the physical media stuff, whether it's CDs, whether it's DVDs, Blu-rays, that you can actually physically get your hands on. Now, with digital stuff, they could easily pull that off the actual stores on Xbox, or Sony's PlayStation, or the Nintendo. For instance, if you can't get the actual discs no more, the cartridges, where's the first thing you're going to look, guys and girls? Let me guess. It'd be those little consoles, virtual consoles, where you go online and you download the ROMs for, and you can play them in an emulator. You play your emulator and all that. Now with Nintendo, on the other hand, right, if you haven't played a game for years and you've always wanted to play a game, right, okay, they say it's illegal to actually get the emulators. Well, it's not actually illegal to download an emulator. It's illegal to actually download the ROM. That's where the actual confliction becomes in. Now, if Nintendo would have actually released all of their digital downloads of their games going back on the console, maybe people would be more likely to get into that and buy all the games. Or maybe they put them into like a virtual console box, and then like the NES Mini or the SNES Mini, for instance, maybe if they actually batched the entire lot as an emulator and had it so people could play them, every single game that's ever been released on the Nintendo. I mean, to be honest, I hoped that an N64 Mini would have come out, because that's fantastic. Yeah, fantastic that. But actually, I do have my NES Mini, and I've got my other Mini. But thing is, if you haven't got a game and you haven't played it for years, right? The first thing you're going to do is look up the games on Wikipedia, but apparently they're trying to take Wikipedia down now. One of the best forums websites to look up information, which is ridiculous, but that's the establishment for you and the globalists. But and they're trying to kill off the internet, so that's all in this era we're living in now. They don't want us to have all the freedom of information and all that, so they kind of tight-lip us on it. But that's another topic, another video. But what I'm doing at the moment is my gaming stuff. I like games. I like it so I can actually put a disc in, play a game, and make sure it's offline. And if game servers go down, I can still put the disc in and play it. But the thing is, some games won't work unless you're online, like the Crew 2, because that's actually done for online. You put it in, it'll say you need to sign in. Also with different games, there's quite a few games out there on the Xbox. I'm not too sure about Resident Evil Origins though, and Zero. But yeah, there's a few games you have to be online because it's an online but still single player. You could play it single player, but it's almostly multiplayer online. Like, I think the Forza Horizon games, I think they're online, because I don't think you can play those offline. And Grand Theft Auto, you can play that offline for the single player, but for the main sort of online thing, you have to be on there all the time to play it. During online things, anyway. Getting to the point now, I think if the next new console comes round and it's digital only and it's discless, there's no disc tray for it, and it's just sort of like a cloud box sort of thing, I'm just going to abandon it completely, because I think, to be honest, customers deserve more. We deserve to buy physical media, put that media into the actual system, and actually if they kill that off, then they're going to kill off Blu-rays, and then, because not everyone's got the internet, fast internets as well, and obviously they don't actually contain, they don't actually see the people who've got all internets, yet they buy the consoles, they come home and say, oh, we have to do an update to play the Xbox. When it first originally came out, when the Xbox originally came out, you had to do an update, because otherwise it was bricked. So you couldn't play it, so basically you bought a piece of shit, basically a brick wall. But that's the way it goes. This is the kind of era we're living in. Obviously, but if they kill off that shit, I'm totally going to abandon it, because I don't believe you should constrict. It's like Microsoft and PlayStation and Nintendo are all trying to get on the digital bandwagon, and they're just going to kill it. It's going to backfire on them. I mean, Microsoft are coming up with the idea first, and they reckon that they could actually sustain it and help it and then grow it and stuff. But they did that a while back. They tried to do it before. They got a season pass thing where you could get downloads. It's like a sort of Blockbusters, but online for games and stuff. Yeah, it's pretty good, but I don't like it personally myself, because I just like physical media. I like buying the discs. Gives you, at least it gives you the options. And I think it was like 10, 15, 20 quid a month or something like that. But still, it's not my particular cup of tea. Maybe yours, but you know, I don't know. It's just the way it is. I'm not. It's kind of like Microsoft, PlayStation are kind of forcing us to do so. It's like they're holding a gun to our head. I mean, obviously they're not going to hold a gun to my head. They could just shoot me or whatever. But I won't give up. I'll just keep going. And if they do bring out a sort of a digital console coming out in the future, I don't think I'll probably get it, because it's not really worth me spending and investing when I've got the Xbox One here, and I could just easily just use that if it's just going to be like digital games. If they're going to bring exactly the same games but bring it to the Xbox One X. I mean, obviously this has only just recently come out, and with the Xbox One just only coming out, it's already going to be probably 5-10 years old already. Back, because apparently it's like you could play Xbox games on it, you could play Xbox original games on it, and 360 games on it. Obviously, they've got a lot of content and a lot of games, but majority of the games is mostly online. They don't see the people who like the single player games. And this is just me. I just like my single player games. Not everybody does. But yeah, if you guys and girls enjoy single player games just like me, and you're hardcore single player gamers, let us know in the comments below. I was only going to do this as a short sort of video, but when you've got digital consoles and then it's online only, and then suddenly the servers go down and you can't access your account, which has got all your library of games on it, then what do you do about it? And I'll tell you what, you wouldn't better do anything about it. You have to wait until the servers are up. I mean, there should be more servers, to be honest. If one goes down, then the other one's still there, and it should have everybody's files on it. But they don't see that as well. I suppose they've got loads of like sort of servers, but they just don't keep them up to date on Scratch and all that. But yeah, I'm actually kind of frustrated about it, to be honest, because I buy an Xbox One X. I've got the Xbox One original, and now I've got the S as well. So, oh, bloody itchy nose. There we go. Alright, so when you buy an Xbox One X and you buy the S, and you spend so much money on these consoles, yet the online servers go down, then you get a bit pissed. So, I'm frustrated and just annoyed the entire situation. And like, also, I mean, with Nintendo, for instance, when they keep moaning and they're taking servers down now, they're taking websites down due to sort of these games getting out. Hang on a bit a second. Anyway, so when Nintendo brought the some of these websites down to do with emulators, I think they kind of pissed off a lot of people. Thing is, Nintendo wants to do what they want to do, right? That's kind of, okay, it's their consoles or whatever they do. So, but then is they're going to be losing out a lot of money anyway if they do take these people to court, because if the people haven't got the money and they've closed down the websites and the actual Nintendo people are still gunning for them, then, and they're taking them to court, well, they're going to lose big time anyway, because they're going to lose a chunk of their money from those games, from the systems, by taking these console people to do with the emulators to court in the first place. I think if people couldn't find the games that they've been looking on in Nintendo, I think then it's sort of that grey area. You have no choice to look for that game and to download that emulator and the actual ROM to go with it. But then again, they say it's illegal and all that kind of shit. But I used to like have emulators and I used to play games on it, but I still had the cartridge. But what happens if you don't have the cartridge and you haven't got the games and stuff with it? Then you're stuck in that sort of grey area. You're almost across that line to pirating, but it's not pirating technically, because it's just a digital download of a game. It's not like you actually got it in your house and you've got all these like pirate games and all that shit. And it's not like you're going out and selling them. If you're playing a game and you're actually using the ROMs on there, shouldn't you be able to get them from the websites if you couldn't find them and they didn't do them in Nintendo store? Let us know in the comments below as well, guys and girls. Cheers for watching, stay safe, and I'll see you on the next video.